This is Adam Heinzen for WLCSports.com, joined alongside head Warriors football coach Dennis Miller as we preview the team's trip to Trine University on Saturday in Angola, Indiana. First, coach, your team held its home opener last Saturday against Trinity International. You went overtime in week one, and little did many people think you would do it again in week two, but you did. Take us through the game last week. What did you see from your team?
Well, it was an exciting football game. I think that we learned a lot about our football team. Trinity's very good, very well coached. Coach Warrett does a good job down there. And I think that we learned that if we don't make mistakes, we're a very competitive football team. 2 weeks in a row, we've come from behind and won 2 weeks ago and tied it up, went ahead actually. Last Saturday, just couldn't hold on to the lead and then lost in overtime. So I think we're learning some good things about what we're capable of, but we're also finding out that the margin for error is not very big.
You hit on both of those next points, your team trailing by 9 at half, but again showing a lot of resiliency in that second half, outscoring the Trojans 15-6, like you said, to come back and take the lead, but a couple red zone turnovers just proved costly.
Yeah, and turnovers we have to mitigate the turnovers. Right now, that's the Achilles heel of this football team. We've just got to do a better job at protecting the football. We've got to make sure that our special teams gets cleaned up because we had some mistakes on special teams as well. But the future looks very bright if we take care of those problems.
What's been the focus in practice this week coming up with this Saturday's matchup against Trine?
Well, Trine's also a very good football team. They've done very well over in that league for the last few years. Have very good speed, and so we've been very aware of the speed. They have an outstanding quarterback, the player of the year in their league a year ago, and I'm well aware of how good that league is. So it's just a matter of getting to know the opponent and then really preparing for a road trip. It's the first one overnight for us this year, and I think there's a mindset of how to go about this being a business trip and doing things the right way.
Let's touch on that road trip, your first and only one of the season. What do you enjoy most about the road trip, and what's the most difficult thing for your team to adjust to?
Well, the thing that I enjoy the most about is we really bond as a football team. I think anytime you go on the road and it's just you, there are no other distractions out there. It's just football from the time you leave until you get back. I think there's some real positives with that, and so I look forward to that. I think the only adjustment probably will be is the little bit of a time change. We're playing at a little different time of the day, but that's minor. We'll adjust our schedule accordingly and move forward.
And then a couple keys to a victory on Saturday, one offensive and one defensive key that you think your team may need to do to come away from Angola with a W.
Clearly, without question, the number one offensive goal is to not turn the football over. I think if we don't turn the ball over, we're very hard to defend, and I like our chances in that regard. Defensively, they've got a lot of playmakers. They've got some great speed, and so we've got to keep their players contained and make them earn every yard they get.
That's Warriors head football coach Dennis Miller. The Warriors and the Trine Thunder on Saturday, kickoff at noon Central. We'll have the pregame show here on WLCSports.com beginning at 11:30. Coach, good luck to you and the Warriors this week.
Thanks, Adam.